image still showing?
No.
It's gone now. Okay. So in seesaw,
Oh, okay. I thought I got two words. Can I say them?
yeah, of course.
Depressing and gloomy.
Yeah. And Vashti, what did you come up with from the list?
Sad, depressing.
Yeah. So there's nothing positive really about that image, that place. It's not the kind of place you'd want to go to. So I'll share with you this new list of words. Okay, can you see the words?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is where you were looking, right? Yeah. So what I said last week is I want you to make sure you know the meanings of all these words. Okay? That builds your vocabulary because you could get on. I mean, the nice thing is our test in Texas, you're allowed to use a dictionary. Are you allowed to use a dictionary in Massachusetts, Vashti?
Yeah. Wait, on the test?
Yes.
No.
No. Okay. So we are allowed to. So you would have to really know the meaning of these words because they might give you an option that one of the words is this picture. You feel ambivalent.
MCAT?
Yeah, your MCATs. Are you allowed to?
We already took it.
For reading?
Yeah.
How did you finished all of them?
I did all the English part.
How did you do?
I did okay.
The results are already out?
No, not yet.
But you tried your best, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. That's all that matters as long as you tried your best. Yeah. So I mean these words, just make sure when you go to high school you know what these words mean, okay? Because they expect you to know these words. That's why I wanted to share them. Okay, I'm gonna show you another picture. So keep that list of words close by. And I'm gonna show you another picture. Can you see the PowerPoint again? Okay. Okay, here we go. How about this one?
Okay, let's see.
Scary.
So come up with maybe another word as well.
Gloomy.
What did you say?
Gloomy.
Gloomy, yeah, absolutely. Oshta, have you found some words?
Let's see. I'm still looking. I can't find like a word that I feel like it describes. Let's see.
Boring for me, I think would be a word. Abhorrent.
Okay. Can I say at first it looks frightening,
Yeah.
then it goes to boring, and then soon it just goes to I don't really care anymore.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. But I personally, I mean, this is not something you'd want to put above your bed when you're sleeping.
Yeah, certainly not.
No. Okay, last picture then. Okay.
Oh, relaxing, peaceful. Let's see. Joyful, appreciative.
Yeah. So it's interesting how, it's universal how certain things make us feel, right? The negative things, unless, like I said last week, there's some people who enjoy the dark side of things. They enjoy, I don't know. But most people generally, there's certain things we all agree are beautiful and we want to be a part of. And there's certain things we all know we just don't want to be a part of that. You can just decide.
My friend likes stuff which are dark, and I don't get that at all.
Yeah.
She's like, I enjoy this one. I was like, I don't get it.
Really?
Yeah.
I have a feeling, I mean, not always, but usually people who enjoy stuff have either gone through trauma or they've been damaged in some way.
No.
Yeah.
She's just
And,
like stuff about her dark.
well, yeah, I don't know. I guess we're all different, hey? People like different things. Just like, you can decide whether you want to be at the beach or you want to be at the mountains. People like different places. But I think nobody wants to be in an alley
Yeah.
for their vacation,
Yeah.
People want to be somewhere that's scenic and beautiful. You would think. I don't know. But there's some people like New York City, they like cities. Yeah. All right. So that's just a quick review of what we did last week, but I want to give you the video. I'm still fixing it for you. And we
Okay.
watch some videos and just kind of get deeper into it, okay?
Okay.
Okay. But the key is just knowing those words, okay? I was going to ask you to do this part. I don't know if you're going to have time. It's never enough time, but it wasn't going to be just tell me what you did this time. You were going to actually tell me the tone of the piece of writing, either the whole story or just a small piece that you read.
Okay.
Can you think of anything?
I read a poem.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So it's Sonnet 15 by Sonnet. I think it's Sonnet 15, and it's by William Shakespeare. It goes like, "Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate."
Yeah.
That one. I feel like that poem is like, it's talking about the author being really passionate and about to his lover and saying that she is like eternal. And I also think it's like a romantic type of poem.
Okay. So the person who wrote the poem, do you know who it was?
William Shakespeare.
So Shakespeare was writing about a person, of course, right?
Yeah.
So you get the feeling that he had, that he's very passionate. You think this person is absolutely beautiful, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's the tone. Good. And you felt some of the emotions?
Yeah, I felt like, I mean, it felt like after reading a poem, like in my mind, I could visualize a person and a lady, and like how this person just loves this lady.
Okay,
And
wow.
I thought it was romantic.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's really sweet.
Yeah, I know that one. That's beautiful. Yeah. And Vashti, did you read anything this week?
I'm still reading the 57 bus.
So what is the tone of that one, or even your mood about it?
Well, right now it's pretty sad.
Oh, really? How come?
Well, it's not sad, but like, it doesn't really have a mood. It's like setting up the story.
Oh, it's setting up the story? Okay. But it doesn't have like a happy tone yet, right?
No.
No. Okay. Well, good. Thank you. That's what I kind of want you to be able to figure out. And, you can't help the way you feel. You just feel whatever the author is trying to make you feel. If they're really good, they do the right thing.
Yeah.
Like one of the books I wrote, before it got published, I was in a critique group and the people got really mad at the character I was writing about. And I did want them to not to get mad at him. I think I was going to change it at the end. But they were so mad that like, I don't want to read it anymore. They were so angry at this guy.
Oh.
So sometimes maybe it may be too much. So I had to tone it down a bit. Because I think I wanted him to be really hated in the beginning and then you like him in the end,
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess. So like he's being like really rude and mean, and then you can see that at the very end he changes.
Yeah, you go through a transformation.
Yeah, okay.
They were just so mad at me. Like every time I'd read with them, like, oh, I don't want to read about that man. He's so mean. You know what I mean? So I think I was successful, but maybe too much in getting.
Yeah, it reminds me of the book A Voyage of the Dawn Treader. When they start with that character, I forgot his name, like he's really rude to his cousins in the Narnia series, and then at the very end he's like extremely nice. He just changes during the whole trip.
Did you make you also like him in the end? Or you
I hated him at the end. I was like, oh wow, this person's really mean, but at the end I was like, oh, this person's really nice.
Okay, so it works. I think that's good. Okay, so that's what the author would deliberately try and do, and we're going to be talking a lot about author's craft today. Okay, so today we're going through the literary chart. You were there when we introduced the literary chart, right? Okay, so we did word choice, We did, I will look at it, we did tone and mood. Today we're going to look a lot at author's craft and literary devices. That will take maybe 2 weeks. And then we'll do some more effective sentences at the end. So we're going to work really fast. So you'll be able to explain the author's craft using narrative. You will also be able to use it in your own writing, okay? And you'll begin to revise your narrative using your knowledge of author's craft. So, unfortunately, you probably didn't write your narrative because you did last week. So we wrote about, Vash, do you remember the topic? It was about the first time you did something.
Oh, first time. Okay, got it.
Yeah, so people, the week before, remember we went through the list of things?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you start writing your narrative.
Okay.
And narrative is online. The course is already online. This book will help you.
I actually finished the essay.
The one about first time?
Yeah.
Oh,
like,
wonderful.
no, wait. All right, never mind. Wait.
But you've been working through this book, right?
I only did a few of them.
Were you watching the videos?
Yeah, I watched the videos for the first few classes, and I was like, I didn't know if I should do it.
You should, because I don't teach this live like this. I expect you to know, and you can just talk about a few things.
I have a question. Where is it is it complete the essay in your best writing right before, like right here?
What page is that?
On page 4 and 5. Is it page 5?
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay. I actually wrote about the topic there.
About many events have defined who I am?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good, yeah. Because really this one, you self-check, self-pace. The only thing I will grade is your very last essay.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to make sure you've put everything you're supposed to do in here.
Okay.
But I'll talk about it in class too, like especially when there's only 2 of us, we can talk about that as well.
Okay.
All right, so I was talking about the literary charts, right? We've done word choice, we've done tone and mood. Now we're in the middle part. We are looking at author's craft elements and all those things that make the book so good, make you cry, make you sad, make you angry. It's all the author's craft, right? And it's a lot that authors use to make their work effective. So we'll do some of them today, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, so that's our literary chart. So here is a list of devices that authors use. I mean, if you look at them, do you know a lot of these?
Yeah.
Yeah? Is there any one that you don't know?
I don't know what a catharsis.
Okay.
Foil, hamartia, pathetic fallacy, prose, satire.
Satire, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know those.
Okay, that's okay because but what we're gonna do is we want to make sure you know as many of them as possible. That way you can recognize them when you see them. Vashti, do you know all of them? You also don't know a few.
I don't know a few.
Okay, that's okay. So what we're gonna do? Here's another list. Oh, let me go back. Okay, I'm going forward, back. Okay. So can you see this this list here? I didn't create it. I got it from this goodsensorylearning.com.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah, you sent that link on the...
And I did give you a link.
Yeah, okay.
So figurative language, you probably know most of them, but you need to, because they'll never ask you what figurative language is used. You need to know why an author is using the figurative language. That's what the kind of questions you'd get on a test.
Why is the author using this? Or like what would be a better choice of saying? Okay. Yeah,
so really the first step is you need to know what all of these mean.
Okay.
And why, and otherwise you won't be able to recognize them. Okay. And then these are on the pink part are the literary elements. You know all these, right?
I don't know what.
Antagonist. Do you know what that is?
Isn't that that's the bad character, person? Yeah.
The bad person, the one who causes all the problems, right?
Yeah.
The climax. So you all know the plot diagram that goes like that, yeah. So, there's conflict and diction and all this. So
Wait, what's MOTIF number 8?
motif.
Yeah.
So we're going to go through each one.
Okay.
So because of the time, what I'm going to have you guys do, I gave you a link in CISO. Do you see that? So you're going to pick
okay.
2. There's only 2 of you. So you're going to have to pick 3, actually. 3
Okay.
each that you don't know.
Okay.
And then you're going to explain to us. So I gave you this, it's in alphabetical order. So when you look through, you pick one you want to kind of teach us. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to do that. So, the quick thing I wanted to talk about, though, is that author's craft. What does the author do to enhance their story? So they use many devices. So you're going to pick 2, but since there's only 2 of you, pick 3 to share. I'm going to give you 5 to 7 minutes to read and understand 3 you've never heard of at all. So you said motif, you want to look up satire, any of those words that you don't know, the devices that authors use. So we'll just do 3 each. Okay?
Can you go back to the page which has those literary?
Yeah, of course. But also on the links I gave you, there's a whole list of them. So you're gonna be the expert on 3, just 3 that you didn't know before. So if you didn't know parallelism, if you didn't know what a cliche is, or oxymoron, pick any 3. That one. And as an author myself, I've had to work a lot on my characters, but sometimes you don't want characters that are just, like what you said, a static character that stays the same throughout. You want them to, to grow and change, just like we do. Good. Okay, Voshta, what do you have?
So I had satire, and so like satire, it's kind of like criticism. So it's like criticizing something, like it could criticize the way the government's run in a country, or like a way a person is. And then I had adage, and adage is kind of like a saying, a popular saying, like, how sometimes parents say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So that is an example of an adage. And then the difference between, and then a proverb, it's kind of like a saying too. It's more like a general truth. And so the difference between those two are that an adage has like a longer history, while a proverb is like kind of a shorter history. So like the saying for an adage is passed on like longer than a proverb usually.
Oh, really? I would have thought a proverb was longer, but that's interesting. Okay.
Then another point is that an adage gains credibility because of its long existence, while a proverb gains credibility by like using it a lot and a lot over again. And then finally, adage are like not that commonly used, while proverbs are more common.
Absolutely. Okay. And do you do a third one?
Yeah, and my third one's called a motive. So it's like a symbolic thing. So like if you have if you're talking about something like, let's see, a dove or something passes by two people, and that could mean, and it's symbolizing love. So that's kind of like a symbolic thing. That's what motive means.
Good. Or maybe a black cat.
Oh yeah, like bad luck.
Bad luck. I think if you see one or something, right? I think, yeah. Okay.
If you see one, you have bad luck.
Good. Yeah. So, the key is you want to know what most of them mean, okay? So at least go through my list, and if like what you just did now you already know 2 more that you didn't know, all right? That's where you can use them in your writing, and you can identify them when you're reading. Oh, that's a motif. You know what I mean? Oh, that's an adage. You know what I mean? You can already, and you can see what the author is trying to do. Okay, so my big one, though, I really want you to know your figurative language. Okay, and I do talk about it in this book a lot. Okay, so do you have your book? Both of you? You do, right?
I have mine.
You have yours, right?
Yeah.
You have it? This one? Yeah? Okay. It's pretty much on page 32.
Is it this page right here?
Yes. So mastering figurative language. So as you can see, I didn't even, this was just for you to do the exercise, but the lesson is there on the video that you can access, the lesson on figurative language. But you want to be able to identify them, and then you also want to be able to rewrite like you've written your narrative using figurative language. So I want to see some personification, similes, metaphors. I mean, things like alliteration you use more in poetry, but you can use a pun, you can use oxymoron, you can use onomatopoeia, right? You can use irony in your writing. So it says pick 4 sentences from your essay to try and rewrite them using figurative language. Okay.
Should I write my narrative? Should I write a narrative for homework?
Yes. So that will be, yeah, you will need to write a narrative for homework. Yeah.
Can you say the topic again real quick, please?
Yeah, sure. It is, the topic was most people do something new or for the first time, they're either nervous, right? And people talked about
doing something new.
Like playing tennis for the first time, swimming for the first time, meeting somebody for the first time, going on a plane, whatever. So people wrote a long list last week. So you might want to start with that, brainstorming like a list of things you've done recently that are new to you. And then you're going to write about that experience. So remember, it's a personal narrative. And if you studied this, you zoom in, right? The details. You don't give too much information, but you zoom into one in that moment only. It's different from expository. You're writing
yeah, okay. So like a narrative, so in other words, a narrative is kind of like your own personal story in first person, and expository is like talking about giving reasons why you think something.
Yeah.
Right?
So this one, there's no reasons. You're describing more.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's kind of like an event in a story, and you're describing it.
Yes.
Okay.
So you do better when you pick a moment. You don't write about everything. Yeah. So I mean, I want to see how you do, and we'll talk about how it is after that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So I might as well tell you your homework. You really need to know your figurative language, and we're gonna do a quick Kahoot to see how much you already know anyway. Okay. All right. So let's go on. I already showed you this, right? You guys did good job anyway. You really did a good job. So I mean, this is a poem we read last week. And so I wanted to, what special literary device, anything that you notice that the author has done, if you identify any figurative language even?
Repetition. He keeps on using word a lot.
Do you see alliteration? Do you see the S?
Yeah.
An S?
Yeah.
Right? Do you see any other figurative language, like do you see any similes or metaphors?
Oh, I see a simile. It says you may choose your word like a concierge.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, this is just one little poem that we got. We can tell pretty much the whole poem is just craft. It's using figurative language to put his point across. Okay. I'm moving on because time is already running out. Okay. So I'm leaving author's craft now, but it's nowhere near over. We'll come back to it next week. Okay. Because I do want to go into our sentences. So we started digging deeper into sentence. And last week we looked at 4 different types, a lot. I will give you the videos with you because you really need that one. Okay.
Oh, I know these. Okay. I know all these.
Oh, perfect. Well, then what we're going to do is, so you know these. We talked about these a lot last week. I'm not going to go into it right now. starting with the
Yeah.
prepositional
I
phrase.
know these. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. Good. So we're going to retake the quiz. You didn't do it last week, so you probably would do well. There's a quiz. It's on Seesaw. 20 questions on those questions. So people didn't do very well. People were getting like 20% last week. So let's see if we do a little bit better. And for you, it'll be your first time. Do you see the quiz?
Yeah, I see the quiz.
Yeah. So I'll give you about 3 minutes or so. So all right. How did you do?
I got 60%.
So I can tell you do know them then. You know pretty much most of them, right? And then of course there's extra ones which we're not even gonna look at. That's pretty good. Vash, how did you do?
I got a 65.
That's good. Yeah, so you're getting to know them. They are pretty tricky. So I think you're getting to know them. So we'll keep practicing, okay? Can you see my PowerPoint, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Yeah.
today we only have 4 minutes left. Goodness, okay. So we want to start with phrases, okay? So I wrote these sentences. Let's look at number 1. Okay, so the region of Horseshoe is a well-known area in the northern region of Japan.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to start with the modifying phrase. So which phrase tells us more about the region of
Horseshoe and half of Japan.
Okay, so how would you start it?
What do you mean?
So you would want to start with the modifier. So a well-known area.
A well-known area in the northern region of Japan is the region of Horseshoe.
Okay, so you always, when you do your modifier first you put a comma. Okay, do you want to try the second one, Vashti? But we won't be able to write down. We don't have time. And you can, if you want to jot it down on paper, it's okay. How would you start this with a modifier then?
But I don't get it.
I know it's tricky.
Can I try?
Yeah, what would you say?
About 300,000 people were the population of, let's see, I can't see the, were the population at the time of the tsunami.
Okay, you actually start with at the time.
Oh, at the time of the tsunami, the population was about, okay, makes sense.
Yeah, but that's telling us a little bit more about the time, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
How about number 3? That's a bit longer.
Oh, okay, can I try?
Yeah.
Many facts about the life in ancient Horseshoe to add to our knowledge of other current weather patterns were discovered by archaeologists.
Okay. It's okay, that's made sense, but think of them, you said you know they are positive or the prepositional, right?
Yeah.
So which preposition here?
About the life in ancient Horseshoe to add to our knowledge of current weather.
So you start with to add.
To add to our knowledge of current weather patterns, archaeologists have discovered. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. It's tricky. How about this last one, number 4? It's kind of obvious. I think I kind of put the comma to make it easy for you to know where to start.
Unheeded by authorities caused a lot of. Wait, what?
So unheeded by authorities The warnings of the tsunami caused
a lot of damage. Okay, yeah.
Actually, I wrote this sentence. I made a mistake. It should have been the tsunami.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we don't have much time. We've got 1 minute. So I let me change this. You've already written your essay. Vashi, did you write your essay?
Not yet.
Oh yeah. Let me say you need to study your author's craft. So some of it's revise. So write and revise, okay? So, okay. All right. So it is time. Any questions for me before you go on? No? Okay.
Yeah.
So what we are doing with the literary chart will help you, Vashita, with your star questions. You know that, oh, when you see a question, you should know that this is a tone and mood question. Okay? Oh, this is the author's craft question. You know what I mean? You can already identify what it is. So it makes it easy for you. Or next time we'll do a theme one. Oh, this is a theme question. I don't know what they're asking about. Okay? All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. We missed the other 5 people today. But it was nice actually working with both of you today. Nice to talk to you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.